everybody, welcome back to the dumbest modeling channel on all of YouTube, Pit Stain Hobbies, the home of the free idiot sticker. When I screw up, or if you just want one, email me, whatever. Today, back on the Ecto-1. Having all these models going on at once, I guess it satisfies part of the AD or the HD, one or the other. But we're back on Ecto-1 from Fanhome, awesome model, it's coming along nice. Last episode we got some of the lower dashboard done. And we're going to be working a lot more on the dashboard today. Click down below for a link to Fanhome and to check out the model, as well as my little Amazon affiliate store. People keep asking me for links of, where did I get this? What did I get that? It's going to be in that. Just scroll through. I don't know if it works or not. I don't know what I'm doing. Either way, there's a bunch of links below. My email's down there. Have a blast, okay? We're going to start with stage 39 here with some little bits and pieces. And of course, I am going to be referencing the myecto1.com site from my buddy Todd at the mypartworks.com site, because it's just, it's pretty easy for me to figure out and find it. Issue 12. Oh, free front license plate. I don't know about that. Maybe, was it in the box? I don't know. Whatever. We'll deal with that. I think that's from the Eagle Moss stuff. They were putting in a corrected front license plate somewhere. Either way, we'll be right back. Let me cut out 39 and get these parts laid out. Alrighty then, we're going to take our dashboard panel. We're going to go on the back of the panel, and we're going to drop our little dashboard door in there. It's got two panels, two little tabs on the panel that hold it from going out too far. And then those two go in there. And then this little part goes right on top of there. And then we're going to put 4 BP screws in here, like so. And I'll get the other 3 in, and I will be back shortly. All right, so a little tip here. These 4 screws that hold on this plate, okay? You might want to tighten them. Now, we always say caution, like don't over tighten into plastic. I would, you got to go, just keep going tight enough, keep going tighter. Like once it's finger tight, go 1/4 of a turn on all 4 screws until the thing doesn't droop open on its own like that. Because mine was like that. I didn't over tighten and it was doing that. It wouldn't fully stay shut. So I tightened them down, just give them a little more juice into the twisty part, and she's nice and tight now and firm. Still opens and closes smoothly, but it does not droop. So keep an eye out for that. Yep. Okay, now we got to put in. Oh, these are really cool. Okay, these are some little dash control bits. Oh my God, you can read the stuff on here. This thing, yeah, you heard the lenses from my magnifier go. All right, we'll just use the camera so I can see everything. Oh, come on. Look at that. Is that ventilation? Oh, upside down. Wow, that looks cool. And then the other one is going to be like the heater controls or the defroster controls. Oh my God, these things are tiny, but you can just barely make them out. That's pretty insane. Gotta go find. And they have a right and a left, but the ventilation one will go over on the left, and we just snap her into place. That is a nice positive click. You know, on this channel, we're a sucker for positive clicks. And then the other one, we will also click into its home. There we go. Those look pretty awesome. All right, moving along. Here we go. We've got the steering column bottom cover. Ian, come on. There we are. Okay, so just goes on like so. And then we're probably going to have to throw a couple IP screws in here because that's really all we have left. And we're just going to throw 2 IP screws here and here, and I will be right back. Okay, so that feller's put together. Gonna take our dashboard and we're gonna just slot this in right here, and then we're gonna put in an IP screw here and here. And just one sec. Alrighty, that's in there, screwed in. Very nice. Those are really sweet. You're barely going to see them when they're in the car, unless you go looking for them. But when you do go looking for them, you'll see some cool little detailed parts. That's it for 39. We have, you know, as usual, a couple screws left over. Let's get 40 over here. Ooh, okay, the upper dashboard. This looks like it's going to be a fun pack. There we go. You know what I'm happy about? I'm happy we're not picking up that behemoth of a chassis right away again, because that thing is just so heavy. Oh man, like, it's cool that it's that heavy because there's so much die-cast metal, and it's only barely half built because we don't even have the body yet. I haven't gotten a single body part yet. I'm way behind everybody else on this build. I signed up a lot later, and you know, it was yeah, I was saving up parts. And then finally, it came back. Thank you, Fanhome. So here we have some cool little gauges. Obviously, the dashboard. The style of dashboards on old cars is just, it's just so much cooler than what we get these days. I mean, all the screens and stuff, yeah, they're nifty and all that, but oh man, good old mechanical gauges, analog gauges. Okay, we got a few little bitty pieces here. Let's see what we're doing here. Let's boom. Okay, so we're going to take these little gauges and shove them into holes. Now, trying to read these gauges, if you don't have good up-close vision, is very difficult. You'd break out your little magnifiers, and then you'd maybe be able to make out, come on, focus, there we go. You know, those, it's really tiny. But luckily, these are keyed. They have a little keyway on the back. So we're going to take our little temperature gauge. I think it's temperature. Is it temperature? Oh, is that battery or fuel? What is that? The ammeter. Oh, yeah. So it was electricity related. Get that in a little hole. Then we're going to flip her around behind and throw an EP screw in there. And I will be back. I'm going to put the second one in also here and throw an EP screw in there. And I will return it momentarily. All right, so our little gauges are in. Magnetized screwdriver is very helpful because those screws are deep in the recesses of the dashboard. Now we got to put the little control handle for the outside spotlight. We got to shove that into a little D-shaped hole here, but I did notice there's a tiny bit of flash on the tip, if you can see it right there. I'm just going to go ahead and very carefully nip that off with, yes, I'm using God hand nippers. Make fun of me for having bougie nippers. But yeah, I just nipped off that little piece of flash. And this only goes in one way, and this is a funny angle and a delicate part. So take your time getting it in the hole, because my buddy snapped his when he was putting it in. Now, okay, there we go. I don't think that needs any glue. That's not, I don't think that's going anywhere. Come on, focus, yeah. It's these chrome and black bits the dashboard's made out of. It's playing games with the camera. And then we take this tiny little thing. Can we show you the whole part? There we go. And we're going to shove her on the dashboard, and there's an angle to it. It's got a bit of an angle. We want to make sure we follow the angle of the dashboard there. And yeah, the pegs are not D-shaped that I can see. I'm going to just Squeeze it down. Angle the pins. Let's see here. Oh, I got it backwards. Of course. Why wouldn't I? I would, of course. Hey, if it can be screwed up, I will definitely screw it up. So let me gently pry this back off. Turn it around. Listen, if it doesn't fit flush in there, you know you got it backwards. So, oh, come on. You know, this is a surprisingly fiddly little bit to get in here. Did I have it the correct way the first time? Oh, hell if I did, I think. Ah, it's confusing. I'm trying not to, like, press too hard. But yeah, okay. I did have it correct the first time. I just wasn't pressing it in. Oh, for God's sake, the camera's driving me crazy. Be right back. Third time's a charm. Okay. It's in and it's flush. This really doesn't want to focus on these little black things here. And that's it for 40. Nice. This stage is going smoothly. Until I fix it till it's broken. That's how this channel works. Take out our little tray of bits here, and many bags, 5 bags of screws, 5 different types of screws going in here. I don't know about the psychology behind why there had to be so many different types of screws. EP, IP, KP, AP, JP. Okay, it's all P's. No oil needed for this one. And we've got a bunch of more little bitty dashboard componentries. Okay. Let's get you out of the way. Look. Ah, it's a nice part. Look at the gloss on that thing. It looks like there's our radio. There's the back of the gauge cluster. Very nice. Very nice. All right. So this one, let's see here. Okay, we got to put together the Regency radio receiver, which is this fella. And there's going to be a couple of panels for it right here and here. And we just got to shove them into the little holes. So let's get this thing in here. That just shoves right in there like that. And this one will just go in there like that. The pins have different spacing on them, so you really can't mess it up. That little bottom panel right there. And that's our little radio receiver. Nice. And then we're gonna screw it down with JP screws. So it's gonna go right here. Right? Yeah. And then we're going to flip her over, a couple of JP screws in the bottom. I'll be right back. I rescind my previous statement about no crazy glue on this handle, and I replace it with my new statement. Crazy glue on the handle. Just a tiny dab. I just bumped it and it popped out. I thought it was in there really well, but I'm scared to push on it any harder. It may seat further, like by a millimeter, and really click into place, but I just put a dab of glue on there. Now for the dashboard, the gauge cluster, we should say, which is a beautiful little part here. Very nice. Nice indeed. Let's just rub it on our t-shirt on our fat belly. And then it's got a groove and a thing and a bump and a lump, and that's all going to line up with the back. And we're just going to put her into place on the back and drop a couple of AP screws right at each end, and we'll be right back. Okay, and that's in and looking spiffy as hell. Oh man, if you hear a little grindy, hummy background noise, I don't know if the mic's picking it up, but It's friggin' cold in my basement workshop here. I'm basically in a garage. So pardon the electric overhead heater noise. I do like that the previous homeowners did have the foresight to put in two overhead electric heaters. That was quite nice. Oh, look at this. This thing's gonna, oh, it's gonna look so good. Not yet, Ian, not yet. We're gonna take this. We're gonna grab the little radio faceplate. Oh, it's looking nice. Come on, focus. Hello. There we go. Drop the little radio faceplate right into here. And it has, there we go, little thing. And then a couple EP screws on the back. And we will be right back. Okay. So now we're going to snap this into here. And there's a little, no, not too much. Just a tiny bit. It's just a baby click. And then we're going to put a couple of IP screws. One right there, one right there. These two spots. BRB. Okay, we're going to need our wires left over from stage 38. And we've got these two little tiny buttons that we pulled out. And the taller button is the main light button, and the shorter button is the other button. Is the ignition. Oh, it's the ignition. Jesus, Ian. Okay, fair enough. We're just going to have to drop these into these little tubes, these little holes right here. So we're going to drop one in there. And yeah, they really, they just fall in. Nothing special there. And then we need the main light switch, which is this gray and white. Is that? No, that's white. That's B. We need F, E, C. There's F, of course. Gray. What do you know? I'm not colorblind, I swear. And we're gonna drop this. Oh boy, this little push button. Drop that into the hole there, and then we're gonna take one of these little brackety doohickeys, okay, and get that in to the switch and into the little hole. And this is gonna require some tweezers and an EP screw, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I found it easiest to pick up the little bracket like that with my tweezers, slightly bend the wire out of the way to hold it in there, put this thing down on here, and then drop the bracket in, and then get your screw in. And it's still a little wobbly in there, but the bracket is fully tightened down. But let's see if we get a click. Works just fine. So that's fine. It's okay. I guess it'll just have a tiny bit of play going on there. Then we're gonna get our, let's see here. Oh, so Todd bent the unused pins of the switch around the bracket. Ah, crafty, Mr. Todd. Crafty. We will do that. Make sure that these unused contacts, that they don't touch. But yeah, it actually helps a little bit. Huh. Let's see here. What did he do? The pins of help made little difference. He removed the switch and put some super glue gel on the back of the switch to secure the retainer to it. While the glue is still wet, he reinstalled the switch. Doing this while the glue is still wet makes it easier to align the wire switch. The mounting holes also holds the switch to the retainer. So we could drop a tiny dab of crazy glue on the back of that switch. Now that the retainer's already in, I would just say pull back on that and just drop a little crazy glue in there. Yeah, why not? Why the heck not? Be right back. All right, so the crazy glue worked perfect. Just a little dab keeps it nice from moving. It was working fine anyway. It just annoyed me a little that it was flopping around. Now the ignition switch does have a little notch at the top of it, and there's a little notch at the top of the hole in here. And we're just going to drop her in there and manipulate it with Zine tweezers to get it into its notch, just like so. You could just barely make out the notch. As good as my camera is, who knows? Let's see here. Okay, and that should sit flush on the face right there. And I guess it's going to be quite the little press. It's going to be a little tricky to press the buttons once it's you know, in situ inside the interior of the car. And now we need another wiring harness. We need the blue and green one. What is that? D. There we go. D. Okay. And I think we're going to do the same trick. We're going to glue the little bracket on to the back of the light first. I'm going to bend the lead a little bit so I have a nice thing. And I'm going to glue the little bracket onto the back here and then screw it into place just like the other one. We'll be back in a sec. Okay, so that's in, about the same. Next, we got the green, the blue, and the white. And it's going to go green, blue, white. And I'm going to get those in because it's a boring, repetitive task. I don't need to show you every single time I screw and glue one of those things in there. But we'll be back in a sec. Okay, so those are in. The last three go a lot easier than the first two for some reason, probably just because you're practicing. And then we have buttons in the front. Let's check our ignition. Click. And this, click, click, click. Okay, everything's clicking, so we're good. Then we're going to get our gauge cluster lighting in here. We've got this little fella with 3 LEDs on it. And that's just going to drop down into these 3 holes. Ooh! Carefuling. Okay. Yep, she's in place. Gotta give her a wee bit of a shove, but do it evenly across the whole thing. You don't want to, like, crack the PCB or anything like that. And that snap fit in there is probably all it really needs, but I'm sure something will go over that afterwards. There we go. It's coming along. It's looking like a dashboard, a very cool dashboard. And then let's see here. Last but not least is stage 42. And I'll be done with issue 12 and have no more parts. Actually, issue 13 should be shipping out literally any day now. Like today, tomorrow, based on just my experience of what the Fanhome website means with preparing shipment and estimated ship dates and all that. Oh boy, okay. You know, not the world's most giant issue, but there are so many little bits and pieces in here now. Woo, okay. We emptied another tray. Feels good to empty a tray. And we're gonna get, let's see, 42. Step 1. So we gotta build the little Gentech antenna body, which is this fella and this little thing, I believe. Yes. And throw that together with a BP screw. So like this is just gonna go right in there, and then we'll throw a little BP screw in the back of it, and that'll be it for that step. 1 sec, be right back. All right, so we got our little screw there, our GP. We also screwed a little metal bracket on the bottom, its little feet, with another GP, and then we're going to take 4 more GPs. There we go. And we're going to screw it down right here. So you'll want the smooth round part facing the windshield and little screw facing back. And we're going to just get that bolted on down. We'll be back in a sec. Okay, so there we go, bolted down. Starting to look pretty cool. All the extra gear on top of the dashboard. That's some fun stuff. Next, oh boy, all these little tiny switches. So we're gonna need to snip off 8 of these, and they give you exactly 8, and one seems already like it's... These are super tiny. Keep them in there. So we're just going to snip these off with, of course, our bougie nippers. Any decent, flush cut nipper will be fine for this. I'll get snipping, and I'll be right back in a snip. Well, that was fiddly as frack. Come on, focus. I decided to push them all into the little holes in this switch panel here. And some of them were very tight to go in, and some just kind of fell into their holes. So on the back, I just did a little bit of CA glue on the back. We're going to flip this over now. And where the hell does this thing go? What? Hold on. Oh, wrong part of the dashboard. We're going to take this part of the dashboard, and we're going to plop her in here. And throw a couple BP screws. We're going to plop her right there. And a couple of BP screws to get that in. And I'll be right back. Okay, well, we got our 2 BP screws in, and how awesome does that look? Sweet! Quite a challenging fiddly task to do. Tweezers, caution, 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 Will Robinson. These things will go boom. One pinged off somewhere over here. I found it. It just landed in the clear spot, luckily. I was using my fat fingies and a lot of trembling and stress, and a small migraine has formed now in La Cabeza. Don't over tighten these screws. Snug is just fine. Okay, well, I don't think I over tightened them. I'm just reading Todd's website. And then we're going to take our little fuel gauge, which is right over here, this little feller, and that's going to drop in right here on the side of the bottom of the steering column. And we're going to throw a couple EP screws in there. Be right back. All right, well, we've got those screwed in. While we had our EP screws out, we also put on the battery meter and the parking brake, which is just one screw there. Brake pedal. Parking brake does not articulate. Brake pedal does, obviously, because it hits that little micro switch to turn on your brake lights. And there we go. Is that it? Are we done? There we go. Oh, no, we're not. We're not. We're going to fit the lower dash panel to the upper dash panel. Let's make sure all of our wires are pointing rearwards. Okay, good, good. Nice, nice. And we're going to get this sandwiched in here somehow. Oh, okay. Ah, all right. So these parts have to go over the lower dash panel. And then we're just going to get a few screws in here. Let's see. 3 LP screws here, here, and here. And we'll be right back. All right, well, there we go. She's all together and looking absolutely gorgeous. This is one of those impressive assemblies, just like the front end when you build that grille and bumper for the first time. It's just super cool. Check that out. If you want to build your own, there's links to Fanhome down below. My email's down below. My Amazon store. You can get you can get the screwdrivers I use on there, and you can get the little nippers. They're all in there. The 3-in-1 oil dispenser, we didn't use it this episode, but that's in the list. All the other good stuff that I don't have on that list, I got at like local hobby shops or eBay or something randomly. Either way, email for stickers, click the links, hit the like, hit the subscribe, all the YouTube things, do the stuff, the comments. I love it. I love the comments. I try to reply to just about every comment that's more than just an emoji. If you got an emoji, I'm just going to give you like a thumbs up. But otherwise, I try to reply to everybody. And most of the time, it's very fun. All right, well, I'll see you guys next time. This was the end of the petty cash for today. We'll be back when we get issue 13, I guess. Adios.